Hello, my friends. This is a non spoiler review of Tenet, which is only in theaters right now. And yes, I was one of those brave people who went to the theater despite the coronavirus threat. And there was only 4 people in the theater, so I was not too worried about that. But happy to see the theaters back open again. It's been a long time. Uh, really missed being able to go with my dad. Um, you know, and we used to do that all the time as a bonding thing. Um, so Tenet starts out though Tenet has a very strong start. It 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 loses, and boy, we have a lot to talk about because Tenet is a very interesting movie. It has a very strong start and very good acting, very good cast. However, after that initial strong start, it starts to lose its audience piece by piece. It never really picks it back up. It never really makes it to a top quality level movie, in my opinion. It seems like in the trailers that they would go into a lot of depth about the main plot of the story, but it actually doesn't go that far, and it's very confusing for the audience. And I am one who likes to pick apart a movie, obviously, that's why I like to do reviews, but I am one who likes to pick apart a movie and go deep into the plot and see, some subplots or things like that. And this movie was very difficult to follow. It's not difficult to follow in the way that they just bend your mind with all these crazy thoughts like Inception did, which was very cool, and you have to kind of think in the movie, things like that. It gives you a puzzle. No, it was not like that at all. The reason why it was so hard to follow was because of the dialogue and honestly, the director's choices and how the scenes played along and the dialogue played along, especially during the first half of the movie. Like I said, at a very strong start, very strong, cool action sequence in the first 10-15 minutes. After that, it was a lot of dialogue, which was very choppy. You jumped from different locations, and then the dialogue was very short in those locations and very difficult to understand. They were making references to people that you hadn't even seen yet. And the characters were going back and forth on dialogue about characters and plot story pieces that you haven't even seen yet or even understood. So they didn't even fill you in, really. They gave you kind of a small glimpse of premise of what it was about, but then they just kind of jumped around and didn't make any sense, and then you basically lost people and never gave people an explanation for, okay, why are we doing this and why are we going here, and then why is the main protagonist like acting like he's someone is special where we haven't even made him very special yet. So very interesting way to do this. I don't know, maybe if you just played the movie backwards, it might be better for you. Maybe that's the goal. Maybe that's what Christopher Nolan wanted us to do the entire time. I don't know. Maybe you should try that. Maybe we should talk to a movie theater and have them play it in reverse, and maybe we'll get some more details out of it. I don't know. I thought the main protagonist, which he straight up called himself the protagonist in the movie, which was very odd. Very odd choice. Don't do that. You're just telling your audience that you are in a movie. So it's very odd. I thought his acting was something left to be desired, for sure. I don't think that he was maybe the best fit for his role. And if you were worried about Robert Pattinson in an action movie, be playing the new Batman, don't be. He was very good in this movie for an action movie. I think he stepped up his game quite a bit for the action side. I never really saw him, as that. Now that this movie has changed my mind about Robert Pattinson being Batman. Now, the supporting actors were very, very, very good. especially in the action sequences. The supporting actors were spot on. Some of the great stuntmen and fighting sequences were very good. So all you supporting actors, I thought the supporting actors should have had a larger role, such as Inception. The supporting actors were brought into the team piece by piece, and they were very fleshed out, and then they became part of that team. Whereas the supporting actors and people that were supposed to be part of the team, you didn't really see them a lot at all. And Himesh Patel, I think is how you say his name. Very good acting. I mean, I thought he should have had a more prominent role, especially since he was part of the beginning of the movie, and you don't really see him again until around the end or so. It seemed more like a one-man show. And as I said before, John David Washington, he probably wasn't the best fit for the role. He also just didn't seem very comfortable in his position, in his place, which may have been part of the plot. However, it wasn't done very well, and it seemed like he was trying to overcompensate. I found myself being bored a lot of the time, actually throughout most of the movie. I, for one, was hoping for a awe-dropping movie such as Inception, to where it was going to blow my mind. And some of the things they did, obviously some of the shots where time is involved, is definitely awesome to see, but not that awesome. I thought they could have done a lot better job, and they seems like even those shots did not really tell the story very well. And I think that was the very difficult thing for me with this movie, and really trying to appreciate those shots that were taken, because there was a lot of good action shots and almost no CGI from what I visualized. But it really took away from those shots and from the action sequences the fact that there was really, the plot was really bad. Or at least the definition and the way they went about the plot was really bad. Tried to make the story go from 0 to 100 within the first 10 minutes. Some things get revealed at the end that kind of pull it together. Maybe if I watched this movie a second time, maybe my thoughts would change about it. Maybe if they just went a little bit slower on some of the explanations, and even just some of the dialogue. Some of the dialogue was very choppy, and you cut from scene to scene too much, very too much, and location to location was cut way too quickly. There should have been a different way to do that. This movie does make a stance, I guess, on environmentalism and things like that. So not going to spoil that for you, because it kind of has a lot to do with the plot and things like that. But you'll see it when it comes about. You'll kind of see it and kind of understand why they decided to put in some of the scenes that they did, in some of the locations that they did. Some directors try to make a political statement or some kind of statement out of these movies as well, which is definitely not needed and should just stay out of the movies. As far as family friendliness, this movie is rated PG-13, and I think there was maybe one or two scenes that should have been taken out. A little bit of woman abuse and things like that. There was maybe one or two curse words throughout the whole movie that I noticed. Usually there's a lot more than that. And I definitely want to talk about, morality rating and things like that. So what to stay away from if you want your kid to watch this or not. Overall, I would recommend waiting for this movie. I would not recommend going to the theater and watching this movie unless you're just really bored. So overall, this movie had a very good start, but it just lost people in the end, and lost people with the storytelling and the way it was told, and the dialogue choices. They even had, in the dialogue, one person actually chewing and eating his food while they were talking. And that was supposed to be a very important conversation. I think one of the big questions with the COVID situation is, was this movie really worth having to go to the theaters and possibly putting yourself at risk just to go see this movie? Or should it have been put on streaming services? So that way they would have made a lot more money out of the theater release, maybe by pushing it back a month or two. Overall, I think they made the wrong decision. by just allowing it in theaters. This movie did not really meet the levels of other great action movies to where I would not go see the movie if I was not going to see it in the theater. But it is good to go out and see a movie again. Thank you AMC. Actually, since I was a Stubbs member, I got into the movie for free, and the $8, $9 popcorn that I got was also free. So that was very nice. I got some popcorn. I usually don't get popcorn, but got some popcorn because of the mask rule. But so if you're eating, so I just slowly ate popcorn throughout the whole movie, so I didn't have to wear a mask. Let me know if you plan to go see the movie, or if you're gonna wait, or if you have any thoughts or anything like that. We'll definitely be doing some more movie reviews as I watch them and things like that. Wish I had a 4K projector at home. That would be awesome. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you like this review. Please like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Thank you very much.